guess you can check, you might have received the drive link on the mail IDs. We are receiving the drive links over the mail IDs only.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Kunal sir is back. REST queries, yes.
Yeah, I'll just check with him.
Sure.
Okay, guys, let's start this session again. I think we got disconnected in between because of the network issue. So whatever we have studied till now, no, that will be stored in a separate session. All right. So there'll be two files in networking folder. You will get two files. One is networking part 1 and part 2. So whatever we have studied till now, that will be part 1. Whatever we will be studying now, that will be part 2. तो कनेक्शन डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था, इसलिए दो पार्ट में आपका नेटवर्किंग का एक क्लास स्टोर होगा, एक पार्ट 1 और पार्ट 2 में. ओके, तो देयर विल बी अ फोल्डर, वहां पे एक फोल्डर होगा नेटवर्किंग के नाम से. एक होगा नेटवर्किंग पार्ट 1, एक होगा नेटवर्किंग पार्ट 2. तो अभी जितना हमने कर लिया सारा वो पार्ट 1 होगा, तो अब हम करेंगे वो पार्ट 2 होगा. ठीक, क्लियर राइट?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, one more thing. चलो. Then we have something we call ARP. ARP means Address Resolution Protocol. Anything, any idea what is ARP exactly is? Guys?
In address resolution protocol, we can say that whenever the data packets is sending from one location to another, it provides the address. अगर हमारे पास उस चीज का एड्रेस होगा तभी हम उस पर्टिकुलर जगह पे जा सकते हैं, I guess.
Exactly. The thing is over here, it solves the address problem for you. How it solves the address problem for you? Let's say कि you are 4 people sitting in a family. Let's say you have 4 people in your house or 3 people in the house. Now, now at the same time, you, your dad and your mom are there. You open facebook.com, your dad opens instagram.com, and your mother opens, let's say, any cookery channel, youtube.com. Now you are opening Facebook, your dad is opening Insta, your mother is opening YouTube. All of you receives whatever you are asking. If your mother is opening YouTube, you do not get YouTube. Your father is opening Instagram, you do not get Instagram, or the vice versa. This is possible that whatever website you are demanding, you receive that website. How? This is because of ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. What does Address Resolution Protocol does? Whenever you get connected to the Wi-Fi, you get connected to your modem. What happens as soon as you get connected to your modem? You remember DHCP? In the starting, we understood DHCP. DHCP provides the IP address to your device, right? There is something we have MAC address. Any idea what is MAC address?
This is for Apple and iOS devices.
Sorry?
MAC media access control.
Media access control. MAC address is basically the physical address of your device.
Physical address.
Likewise, you have phone number. So for every different human being, there is a different phone number which they are using. There is no similar phone number which we have. If my phone number is 123, you cannot have phone number 123. Never possible, right? Same way, in your network, in your devices, we have MAC address. MAC address is physical device of your system, not the network. Physical device of the system. Likewise, I have a laptop. For my laptop, I have a physical address. I have a MAC address. How do we see for the MAC address? Go to the command prompt. Write ipconfig/all. Hit enter. It is going to show you the MAC address of your device. So if I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, the MAC address of my Wi-Fi is this one. This is the MAC address. This is also the physical address. No device in this world will be having the same MAC address. It will be different MAC address for every particular device. Okay, if I'm using Bluetooth, so all the particular devices which can communicate will be having a MAC address. Likewise, for my laptop, there is a Wi-Fi adapter over here. That particular Wi-Fi adapter has a MAC address. This is the MAC address. Same way, I have a virtual machine, right? Virtual machine will be having a MAC address. This is the MAC address. You have a mobile phone. Your mobile phone will be having a MAC address. You have a router. Your router will be having the MAC address. You have a, let's say, Wi-Fi adapter, okay, external Wi-Fi adapter, that will be having a MAC address. You have any IoT device, that will be having a MAC address. You have a smart TV, smart television, that will be having a MAC address. And all these MAC address will be different from each other. They will never be the same. All right, that is what we call MAC address. So your device will be having a MAC address. This is a physical address. All right, now what is an ARP? In ARP, first of all, as soon as you get connected, you get a IP address. Now, as soon as you receive the IP address, your router or your modem also fetches your MAC address. So there is a table which has been created in your router with the IP address. Let's say IP address is 123, which has been given to you, and your MAC address is something like this. Let's say, just for example, it's not how it looks like, but for example. Then your father is also connected 124. His MAC address is something like this. Right, then your mother is also connected to this network. Her MAC address is something like this. Right now, when you requested for something, it is because your IP address and your MAC address is with the router, so it does not get confused that which person is asking for which particular request. So if this particular person is requesting for Google, so Google is going to come to this MAC address only. If this person is requesting for Google again, okay, the request will be different, because when you are sending request to this Google, there is a header which is going on. In header, your IP address is going on. What is the IP address? 123. Over here also the same scenario. Over here it requested for YouTube. YouTube gets you. You gets YouTube. Okay, this is because of ARP spoofing, ARP resolution, address resolution protocol, that you are getting and you are able to open the same website which you are requesting for, which you are demanding for. Okay, that's what we call ARP. समझ आया ARP? Understood?
Yes.
Bore हो रहा है क्या? You getting bored?
Not exactly.
Anybody else is getting bored? I have a joke to tell them in that case. So guys, this particular topic, no, networking, it is important to understand. There are no practicals in networking over here. All right. So, but other topics, they are full of practicals. Then when we'll starting from the next session, no, basically tomorrow's session, it's full of practical. But it is important to go through the theoretical part also, right? Otherwise, you will not understand other things. Samarth, I'll come to that. I'll come to IP address. I'll explain you. Let me explain you in Hindi. ARP क्या होता है? ARP ना आपका एड्रेस की प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करता है. एड्रेस की प्रॉब्लम को कैसे सॉल्व करता है कि अगर आपके फैमिली में आप 3 लोग बैठे हो, आपके डैड ने खोला गूगल, आपके मॉम ने खोला यूट्यूब, आपने खोला इंस्टाग्राम, तो आपको यूट्यूब आ रहा है, आपकी बेसिकली अगर आपने यूट्यूब खोला है तो आपकी मॉम ने अगर इंस्टाग्राम खोला उनको इंस्टाग्राम आ रहा है, आपके डैड ने गूगल खोला तो उनको गूगल आ रहा है, वो बिकॉज ऑफ ARP की वजह से। ठीक है, ARP में क्या होता है, जैसे ही आप कोई भी डिवाइस इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट करते हो, जैसे ही आप कनेक्ट करते हो ना, कनेक्ट करते ही आपके पास IP एड्रेस आ जाता है DHCP की वजह से, तो आपका राउटर IP एड्रेस सेव कर देता है, जोन सा IP एड्रेस आपको मिला है उसके थ्रू आपका MAC एड्रेस फेच कर लेता है, तो आपका MAC एड्रेस और आपका IP एड्रेस ऐसे वहां पे टेबल बन जाती है। ओके, फिर जो भी IP एड्रेस और MAC एड्रेस से रिक्वेस्ट हो रहा है उसके आगे वो रिक्वेस्ट चली जाती है कि हु इज आस्किंग फॉर दिस रिक्वेस्ट, फिर जैसी वो रिक्वेस्ट रिटर्न में आती है उसके पास IP एड्रेस और MAC एड्रेस है, कौन डिमांड कर रहा है, और उस व्यक्ति के पास या उस डिवाइस के पास वो पर्टिकुलर रिक्वेस्ट को, ये भी होता है ARP प्रोटोकॉल की वजह से, एड्रेस रेजोल्यूशन प्रोटोकॉल। इस वजह से कोई इशू नहीं आता, इस वजह से होता है कि आप अगर गूगल खोल रहे हो तो आप गूगल ही खोल रहे हो, आप अगर यूट्यूब रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, आपकी मॉम इंस्टाग्राम रिक्वेस्ट कर रही है तो उनके पास इंस्टाग्राम ही जा रहे हो और आपके पास यूट्यूब जा रहा है। ओके, क्लियर?
इन केस अगर सबने गूगल ओपन करा और फिर गूगल से वो अलग अलग लेट्स से सब सेम
सब रिक्वेस्ट तो देख IP और MAC एड्रेस के थ्रू जा रही है ना,
ओके,
आप कुछ भी रिक्वेस्ट करो, अब आपकी रिक्वेस्ट जाएगी IP और MAC एड्रेस के थ्रू।
Got it.
All right. Then we have something we call three-way handshake. Three-way handshake क्या होता है? Sir, what activities can hacker perform in ARP spoofing? ARP में ना ARP spoofing करके एक होता है, जो हम मैन इन द मिडिल अटैक बोलते हैं ना, वो ARP spoofing होता है बेसिकली, कि आप कुछ भी कर रहे हो ना वो ARP spoofing के थ्रू कर सकते हो, मैन इन द मिडिल अटैक। We will be learning about this. Okay,
एड्रेस को हाइड करते हो तो इंटरनेट यूज कर सकते हो।
फिर आता है एक हमारा थ्री-वे हैंडशेक। व्हाट इज थ्री-वे हैंडशेक? थ्री-वे हैंडशेक इज बेसिकली फॉर द कनेक्शन पर्पस। कनेक्शन पर्पस मींस दैट लेट्स से there is a client and there is a server. Now, who is a client? What do you mean by client? When I am saying there is a client, what do you mean by client?
User.
Who is the user?
We are the user.
We are the users.
तो क्लाइंट एंड यूजर्स तो दो अलग अलग चीज हो गए ना, फिर क्लाइंट अलग हो गया, यूजर अलग हो गया।
For example, like we are there and then the router and then the internet.
राउटर का कुछ लेना देना नहीं है। There is a client and there is a server. Who is a client and who is a server?
Client is basically somebody who uses the service, to be as simple as that.
So client is basically a framework which you are using. So browser is the client. Acha, guys, there is a question. Is it possible to hide MAC address? If yes, can we use internet in that case? Yes, we can hide the MAC address. So if your MAC address is, let's say 123, so you can make it 234, 567, 8, 9, 10, whatever you feel like. You can change the MAC address. We will be learning that in spoofing part. Okay. Spoofing में हम सीखेंगे कि MAC address कैसे change होता है, IP address कैसे change होता है।
तो MAC एड्रेस अगर हिडन रखते हैं तो इंटरनेट यूज कर सकते हैं क्या?
MAC address hide करके इंटरनेट यूज कर सकते हैं।
ओके।
So client is browser and we are using browser, so that is why we are user.
So we become a user. Okay, so the client is your browser. Whatever browser you are using Mozilla, you are using Chrome, you are using Opera, whatever you are using. So client becomes client whenever we say client. Client means browser. Server you are already aware of, right? अब server कौन सा? अगर आप Google खोल रहे हो तो Google का server, आप Facebook खोल रहे हो तो Facebook का server. You are opening YouTube, it's a YouTube server. Okay. Let me start again. So what is three-way handshake? Three-way handshake is basically there is a client and there is a server. Now let's say you requested for google.com. Now how it is opening? Basically your client will send a synchronization request to google.com. This is I'm talking about three-way handshake. The client is going to send this synchronization request. Okay, we call it SYN packets. SYN, synchronization request. To the google.com, to the server. Now server is like, okay, fine. I'm here to help you out. I will definitely synchronize with you. So your Google, your server sends back SYN request and acknowledgement packets. First of all, it sends an acknowledgement packet, ACK. ACK means acknowledgement packet means that yes, I acknowledge your request. All right, so I'm ready to connect, and here are my SYN packets, synchronization packets. Let's sync. Now, when your client is receiving the acknowledgement packets, it has also have to acknowledge that also I also acknowledge your request. Let's connect. Okay, so it sends a acknowledgement packet, ACK packet. This process is known as three-way handshake. You send a synchronization packet that Google, do you want to get connected? So Google is like yes. In return, yes. ACK is basically yes, acknowledgement. I acknowledge your request. Then when I acknowledge, I also want to get connected. So connection is always a two-way connection. It's not one-way connection, right? So synchronization packet has been sent by the server. Then you also need to acknowledge the request. Yes, I also want to get connected. So yes is there. This process is known as three-way handshake. When you will be learning about DOS attack, okay, you will be learning how this three-way handshake is basically because of this simple three-way handshake DOS attack is possible. Okay. So that is basically a part of DOS attack. We'll be learning about DOS later on, but that is what three-way handshake is. Synchronization packet, send an acknowledgement packet and acknowledgement packet. Okay. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Now, then we have finally, we have the last one, we call it IP address. Now, what is IP address? Internet protocol address. Okay. So whenever you have to get connected to the internet, you need an IP address. If you don't have an IP address, you will not be getting connected to the internet. Okay. Now, when you're talking about IP address, we have two types of IP address. One is public IP, another is private IP. Anyone, any idea what is public IP and private IP?
Public IP are the ones like let's suppose if I'm using my router or modem, so I'll be assigned one public IP that will be assigned by internet service provider that ISP will assign. So private IP will be the ones which will be assigned by the router to my devices which are being connected locally. That is a private network.
Exactly. So public IP is basically used when you have to use the internet. Okay, likewise, I need to use the internet. I need to get connected to the google.com. I want to open google.com. For that, I will be using my public IP. I need to have a public IP. If I don't have a public IP, I'm not connected to the internet. I'll not be able to open google.com. All right. But if I want to use the internal network, let's say I have 5 people in my family, everybody is connected to the internet. So they will be having some IP addresses. This private IP, this IP is being provided by this public IP. Okay. So if I want to communicate, we all want to communicate with each other. We all can communicate with each other by defining all the policies and all. Okay. That is basically the use of public IP, private IP. Now let's say I want to hack Google or I want to hack any particular server and I want to create a reverse connection. I want to, let's say I want to hack you. Simple. I want to hack Smurf. Now to hack Smurf, I need to have a public IP. If I don't have a public IP, no, I will not be able to hack Smurf. Very simple thing. Okay. But if in case Samarth and I are using the same internet connection, we are in the same house or in same office, at that point of time, I don't need the public IP address. Okay, because we are in the same connection, I just need the private IP address. Okay, so if I have the public IP address, I can hack Samarth from anywhere in the world. If I don't have public IP address, I have a private IP address. At that point of time, either I have to use port forwarding or I have to make sure that Samarth is in my particular network. Then only I'll be able to hack Samarth. Otherwise, it will not be possible. I'll not be able to have a connection. Let's say I created a file. I'll send to Samarth. Samarth will click on that file. Samarth is hacked. With simple technique. I'll send a file. Samarth will click. Is hacked. But for that purpose, if I'm using public IP address, then only Samarth is hacked. If I'm using private IP address and Samarth is not in my office or in my house using the same internet, at that point of time, Samarth is not hacked. Okay. Itna samajh aaya?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question here. So that means we can put up an attack from public to public, but we cannot put up an attack from public to private.
Sorry.
That means we can put up an attack from public to public, but we cannot put up an attack from public to private.
No, public to private you can do, but private to public cannot do.
Okay.
So
Private
you need
to
a
public
public
we
address.
cannot.
For exploitation, for getting the reverse connection, you need a public IP address. If you don't have public IP address, you can perform port forwarding. Okay, this we will be doing port forwarding. We will be learning in your social engineering how to do it. So we will be creating a link with the local IP address, and then we'll be performing port forwarding so that we can receive the data from other people. Okay. Now, public IP, private IP is clear. How do you see what is your public IP and what is your private IP? So if you want to see your private IP, all you need is you just go to your command prompt. Okay. And over here, like IP config, hit enter. It is going to show you what is your private IP. So this is my private IP right now. Wireless LAN Wi-Fi adapter. I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. And this is my IP address, local IP address, you can say, or my IP address. Okay, this is my IP address, private IP address. But if I want to see my public IP address, how do I see my public IP address? I'll go to Google and I'll just like, what is my IP? This is my public IP address. Now, this IP address actually belongs to my ISP. ISP is Internet Service Provider. So who is my Internet Service Provider? Basically, Airtel is my service provider. So this IP belongs to Airtel. Okay. Now I want to see where this particular IP belongs to, which area. So what I'll do, I'll just go to IP to location, try demo, and give your IP address. This is my IP address. Okay. Now over here, it is telling me that this IP address belongs to Bharti Airtel. Okay. It is from New Delhi. So I am not from New Delhi. I am from Gurgaon, but I am getting signals. I'm getting all the connection from Delhi only. Okay. And these are the coordinates where the tower is. So if you want to go to this tower, you can just follow these connection, follow this particular coordinates, and you will reach this tower. All right. This is what the IP is. Private IP and public IP. This is how you see private IP and public IP. Second, how we get the victim public IP address? Good question. I will teach you in your next session how you get the public IP address of the victim. If I want your public IP address, what should I do to get your public IP address? I'll teach you that in your next session, basically tomorrow. Okay. Now
There is a question.
Yeah.
Many a times during cyber attack, we hear that their IP address is bouncing. So, like, what is happening?
I'll teach you in spoofing part. So what happens that your IP address keeps on changing. You keeps on changing your IP address. So right now your IP address is 123. After a few seconds or few minutes, your IP address is 1234. After that, your IP address is this one. After that, your IP address is this. After that, your IP address is this. After that, your IP address is this, like this. Okay. Basically, in spoofing, you will be learning how you can hide your IP address, how you can hide your identity. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then we have two types of IP address. Two versions of IP address, not types, two version of IP address. Before we have IPv4. Now we have IPv6. Any idea what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6?
Bytes, I think IPv4 use 4 bytes and IPv6 6 bytes.
Yeah. So IPv4 we have 32 bits. And IPv6 we have 128 bits, right? So basically the size is little bit extra, size is bigger. Why we switched from IPv4 to IPv6? Only one reason, which I know. The reason is that we are out of IPv4. Okay, total number of IP addresses, public IP addresses we can create from IPv4, basically 32-bit size of the product. We can create 4 billion of 4 billion IP addresses. What is the world population? 7 billion. Right. So for 7 billion, if we want to give everyone a IP address, a public IP address, we will not be able to give. Okay. Companies uses so many public IP address, so many. Like say Google will be having ample of IP addresses, public IP address I'm talking about. Okay, so if one company even let's say takes 100 or 200 or 1000 public IP address, generally they don't take that much, whatever number they take. So if any person needs an IP address, this was making an IP address costly, as well as there was very limited IP address which were left. So we came up with IPv6. Now IPv6, how many IP address we can create? Any idea? Anyone? We can create 3.4 into 10 raised to the power 38. This is the number of IP address we can create. So it's like you will die, you will born again, you will die, you will born again, you will die, you will born again. Still we are using IPv6, right? Plus IPv4 was, if you look at IPv4, it is like 192.168 or something. This is how your IPv4 looks like. How your IPv6 looks like, it is something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how your IPv6 looks like. Okay, so your IPv6 is little bit more secure than IPv4, plus the size is bigger and the length is bigger, as well as there are so many IP addresses which we can get from IPv6. So most of the companies, they are now switching on to IPv6 as well. Not every company has switched, but yeah, they are in process of switching themselves from IPv4 to IPv6. Clear this one? IP address?
Yes, sir.
So I have a question here. So when you tell me that we can find the public IP address, and if like you lives into Gurgaon and you are getting the connection from the New Delhi. So is there any way from where we can find the exact location of an IP?
So is there any way that we can
have the exact location of the IP?
No, not exact location. For exact location, you have to basically send some virus to the cell phone or to that particular device, and then you have to follow them. Exact location using the IP address, you cannot follow. You cannot get.
So, there's a sir. So how if a phone is lost and when we a complaint in the police station, so how they find a phone through IP address only, right?
No, location tracker.
GSM.
Location tracker is there. You don't use IP address in that case. Let's say your phone is lost, you're not connected to the internet. Still, you can find your phone, right?
Yes, sir.
उसमें इंटरनेट का कुछ लेना देना नहीं है.
Okay, sir.
Samarth, you are asking some questions. Can you please repeat your questions? I'll answer you now. Now, first of all, any question from this particular topic, networking part? Anything you guys want to ask from networking questions?
Sir, I have a question here. Like we have a three-way handshake. So if there is only one synchronized and then they have the acknowledgement, so it will be like a two-way handshake.
My friend, your voice is lost. I'm not getting your voice. Can you please repeat your question? Hello?
Sure, sir. Yeah. So, hello. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes. So okay. So when we are talking about that three-way handshake, right? So in that three-way handshake, we are just sending the sync packet, and then the acknowledgement packet we are getting back, and then again we are sending the acknowledgement packet. So if we are only sending the sync packet and then we are getting the acknowledgement packet, and if we don't send the acknowledgement packet, then it will be called as two-way handshake. Is there something called
in that case DOS attack is happening basically. So what you're doing, you're sending the synchronization packet. Okay, the other server is sending you the acknowledgement synchronization packet, and you say it is like I'll say hey man, hi, and I'll forward my hand towards you, and you're like, I don't want to shake my hand, I don't want to shake hands with you. It is like that. So you are saying no to me. Okay, so this is one particular act which happened. Same way, everybody, what you are doing now, you keep on sending synchronization packet, keep on sending. You send 1000 synchronization packets. Okay. Now your servers get busy with you that I am trying to send this person acknowledgement and synchronization packet, but somehow I'm not able to get connected to this particular browser or the client. So servers keeps on sending you the synchronization and acknowledgement packet, and servers get disturbed over there. Okay, so server, now let's say another person tries to approach that server that I want to get connected to you. Here is my synchronization packet. So server is like, wait a second, let me solve this guy issue. I'm not able to get connected to this guy. Once I'm connected to this guy, I'll come to you. Now let's say you sent 100 synchronization packets. So first, those 100 requests are going to be completed. After that, if somebody wants to get connected, if his 101st request, his request is in the queue. But if in case you are the one who is keep on sending him the synchronization packet and not accepting acknowledgement and synchronization packet, in that case your server is busy and your server will not be able to respond to another request. Got it?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Great. Now we have some questions from Samarth. So the question is, what is cost benefit approach? So cost benefit approach, we have some approaches in cryptography. Okay, the questions are from cryptography. So question is, what is cost benefit approach? Cost benefit approach is basically whenever you're hacking someone. Now let's say I want to hack Samarth, and Samarth is like, okay sir, you go ahead and hack me. Now when I'm hacking Samarth, I'm hacking his bank account, let's say. Okay, so while I'm hacking his bank account, I need to make some investment. I need to buy some products, I need to buy some tools and something, whatever I need to buy. I need to make sure that I get every detail of Samarth and everything. So I need to invest some money. I need to invest some time. Now let's say Samarth has 2 lakh rupees in his bank account. And while I'm attacking on Samarth, it requires me to buy some products and all those things that are costing me 1.5 lakh or 2 lakh rupees, let's say. Now, is there any use to hack Samarth? Will I be any benefit out of hacking? Like for hacking, if I'll hack someone, will I be any benefit in that case? Any benefit for me? Nothing, right? Neither money, nor time, nor data. Neither I'll get any data after hacking the Samarth bank account, because if I'll hack it, after that he has no money in his bank account. I get no money, I invested 2 lakh, I got 2 lakh. I am equal, right? There is no time thing. Time thing means that even if after tomorrow, once I'll hack him, after 2 days or 3 days, he will get to know, right? Then he will not put any money. So that is also of no use. So out of all 3 scenarios, I'm not benefited. So that is what the cost benefit approach is. So there is cost benefit and time benefit. So cost benefit means when you're hacking someone, you should make sure that it should be cost benefit. If you're investing 1 lakh, you're getting some money out of it. If you're not getting some money out of it, it's of no use. Second, time benefit. Time benefit means, let's say I give 5 hours to crack a Netflix account. I was able to crack it. After that, will I be able to watch that Netflix for next 5 days? Was it beneficial for me to invest my 5 hours and watch one movie on Netflix? Or it would be better to pay 300 rupees and watch it on the cell phone. So you have to calculate these things. Let's say you say that, sir, I can hack your Gmail account. So I'll say, okay, go ahead. As soon as you hack my Gmail account, within 5 seconds, I change my account. I change my password. Was that hacking of any use? Will you be able to use that hacking? No. You will not be able to use my information at that point. Within 5 seconds, you cannot get any information. You will not be able to copy any of the information because I changed my password. Right? You will not be able to even send a mail from my email account. This way, that time of that information is of no use. Or let's say Pakistan got to know that we're about to attack on them at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they get this news at 3:50 a.m. in the morning. So will we be able to use those 10 minutes? No. Within 10 minutes, everything is finished. 4 o'clock, attack happened, 4:30, attack finished, we are back to our country. So that information which they got is of no use. Right? So this is what time benefit approach is. That if there is time limitation or the cost limitation. Guys, just hold for a second. Okay. Clear time benefit?
Yes, sir.
Which tools are used to hack bank account? There are not such tools to hack bank account. There are techniques to hack bank account. I'll tell you. Social engineering में हम ये bank account, Facebook account इसका देखेंगे. Okay. What are symmetric? What are the types of symmetrical cryptography? The symmetric. If we go so much deep into cryptography, there are so many cryptographies. Okay. You have your book with you. Go through the book. In case you face any issue, let me know. I'll help you out. Okay. This is nothing. This is just a symmetric cryptography. Samar. और कुछ नहीं है. In this, we are using only single key. In which we use single keys, smart keys, no secret keys. That is basically symmetrical cryptography. That's all. Okay.
Yes, sir. AES and ES, like I'll look into that.
Yeah.
So could you like just explain like about that stream and block ciphers?
यार ये ना बहुत बड़ा टॉपिक है. It will take lot of time. If we go into
एक बेसिक आइडिया अगर like दे सकते ऊपर से.
अब बेसिक आइडिया देने में भी 15 से 20 मिनट लगेंगे. Let's do. We'll understand this in the next lecture because I have another lecture at 6 o'clock. That's why.
Okay, okay, sir.
So
no issues.
these things, block cipher and stream cipher, we'll do in next session.
Okay, sir.
If you have not received the book, you can call to your counselor. They'll let you know when you are going to. All right, chalo. I'll continue this, this stream and block cipher in the next session. All right, chalo. Anything else you guys want to know? And any other question?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Chalo. Then I'll upload the lecture and then I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 2:30. All right. Just revise everything, whatever you have studied, and then we'll continue for the next session. Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Good night.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.